Let's start this on a light note because it's going to get intense and maybe challenging. I was told years ago that to say razor blades in an Australian accent, you just have to say rise up lights fast. And I have been laughing about that for years. Oh, wow. You're welcome for that freebie. It's dumb, but it makes me laugh. Okay, to get into this subject. As promised, I always want to get on here and share. Just from my own experience, I don't want to sound like a teacher or like a know-it-all. I am sharing this because I see a lot of people going through it. And as much as listening to the fun, awesome, lighthearted, happy side of it, to get there, you really do have to go through hell. So, I will explain more of my hellish process, what I had to go through, what it felt like, because I know there are people out there that can relate and that are probably going through the same thing. So, when this process starts, when you start questioning what you believe, where you're at, what's the point of life, who are you, why are you here? If it's really coming from a real place, from deep within you, that will not stop. That will either end with you going madly insane or with you snapping into some kind of awakening. I guess I did both, actually. I went crazy first. And then it just disappeared. Anyway, it's an undoing. It's an unlearning. So my whole life I was convinced that I would learn my way into where I'm currently at, that I would find the perfect piece of knowledge, that I would find the perfect religion, organization, people, books, something, that there was something, and I was always searching for the thing. Well, the thing never happened. What happened was, in searching, I found more questions, I got more confused, and I got increasingly convinced that nobody knew what they were talking about and that they were all lying to me or making it up. Probably making it up is better than lying, because a lot of people are not conscious that that's what they're doing. They think they have truth, but yeah, so it's genuine. It's just not true. Anyway, as I started to get more and more bothered by these questions, I really, really progressively got worse and worse and worse, which I guess is expected before things get better. So I paint cars for a living, and yeah, when they come in, they are messed up. They're already messed up. And then to fix them, we mess them up more. We completely dismantle the car. I mean, it looks like it just a mess. Like a tornado hit this thing. There's parts everywhere. Everything's broken down, split apart. You're sanding, you're grinding, you're changing the metal, making a mess. So it comes in damaged, and then it gets 50 times worse. And then at the very end, when it all goes together, it looks like a brand new car. And honestly, it's the most satisfying part of my job, to take something that is just destroyed and end with a perfect product. And you'd think, how did that happen? That's what this process is like. Your life might be okay. You might have a little sadness here and there. You might feel a little existential dread here and there. Maybe I'm not living in the perfect way. Maybe I'm not fulfilling my calling. It's small. You know there's something wrong, but you're not quite sure, and you can still function. Now, when you start looking into that to try to fix it or find the answers or get rid of that feeling, it blows up. It gets 50 times worse. But the end of that process, which you can't see when you're in the middle of it, it just looks like a hot mess and everything's going sideways. The end is often a better product than the beginning, a stronger, a fresher, better. It's newer, it's different. It's the same, but it's different. And looking back on the process when you're at the end of it, it's stunning. It's beautiful. It's amazing. But sometimes in the middle of it, you think to yourself, it's over. It's ruined. There's no way this is ever going to work. I can tell you from personal experience, it is not. But it is very challenging to see yourself accurately when you're in the middle of a storm. Years ago, probably a decade or two, I had a dream. A man came to me in this dream, and he had this, I call it a cloak, a garment. It was like a jacket that would fit my whole body. Excuse me. And I could tell it would fit me perfectly. It was beautiful. It was white. It had gold. It had like glowing blues. It was definitely not of this world in the dream. It was something you would never see in real life. And he held it out. And I thought, well, this is amazing. This is for me. I would love that. I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's going to give me superpowers. The man that held this jacket to me was looking at me in a way that I've never seen in a human. It was divine. It was just pure love, intensity, knowing. And he said, you have to take off what you're wearing so this will fit you. It's made to fit you and only you perfectly. So I was like, okay, it's a little uncomfortable, but I'll do that. So I took off my shirt, my pants, and I'm standing there in my underwear and socks. Very uncomfortable. We're in the wilderness, just me and him. There's no one else around. But I was feeling very vulnerable and highly uneasy. And he was still holding it. And he looked at me and said, no, you have to completely strip down for this to fit. This is made to fit you with nothing else. You can't have anything on. And I'm thinking, are you serious? You got to strip all the way down and put this thing on? But it looked really awesome. And there was something in his eyes that made me trust. And it was just like, it wasn't like I was stripping down naked and I was embarrassed to be naked. It felt like I was like he was looking through me. And the more I took off, the more I was seen in every possible way. And it got to the point where I was debating in the dream, like, do I really want this? Is it worth it? I'm not even sure what that is. It's too uncomfortable. I'm not, like, maybe I could just not and like turn around and but the curiosity was too strong. I couldn't stop. So I did. I stripped all the way down. He gave me the cloak, garment, whatever it's called. And I put it on, and it was like my skin. I couldn't even tell I was wearing it. It went on perfectly. It's like I became a completely different person. And as I put it on, I was wrapped also, not just in a physical piece of clothing, but emotions came with it. Like love and joy and acceptance and peace and all this just like got turned on in my body. And in that moment, looking back at the vulnerability and the nakedness and the fear that I had before that looked absolutely ridiculous and small and a tiny price to pay for how amazing this was, this experience. But I didn't know that at the time. So giving up what I thought was important, what I thought was me, what felt scary, which felt vulnerable, which made me feel unsure. In that moment that I was scared, that was all I could see. That's all I could feel. I wasn't aware of what was coming next. But I just had this sense that if I stop now or turn around, I will always be in this fear state. I will never know what it is to put this thing on. And in the dream, it's like I had this intuitive sense, like I have to. Like I'm not forced, but like I need to do this. I share that because that's kind of what awakening feels like. If you're in that process of stripping down and being completely vulnerable, completely seen, and you're getting honestly worse and feeling worse than when you started, that is normal. That is part of the process. And when you get through, and look back, it's not even a big deal. In the middle of it, it's the biggest deal ever. It's the hardest thing ever. It consumes every thought, every part of your body, every feeling. So I get that. I'm not trying to invalidate it. I get the hard part. But wow. Completely worth it. Completely worth it.